Hey, hello. I am excited. So I am a minute early. So I'm going to wait the 1 minute for the rest of you all to come in. If you're here, say hello so I can see you. Let me know that YouTube is not playing with me. How is the lighting? Should I fix it? I have, should I lighten it up a little bit? I don't know. I think we'll be okay. Yeah. I kind of like that better because that way it's not in my eyes. How's the view? Is the view okay? Okay, I see you. I see y'all. So tell me this. So I am streaming from StreamYard. You're all on Facebook. I'm sorry. You're all on YouTube. So I am live on YouTube. Say yes. If I am live on YouTube. I'm chewing gum because I'm nervous. Am I live on YouTube? Perfect. Okay. So I like to get started on time. Because I'm a woman of my word, right? And so I want to say thank you. Thank you for showing up. I am Yukia, the creator of Speak Well Podcast. How and why was this podcast curated? Because I was the only girl in my household. And so oftentimes I was told to be quiet and don't say nothing, right? And so here we are. I have the opportunity to say something. So with that being said, thank you. You could have been anywhere tonight and you are here with me. And so thank you. I understand that this is my very first podcast. And so if it was one of you, or if it was 10 of you, or 1,000 of you, I am grateful because I understand that numbers eventually will grow. And so I've already given my thank yous. And I do want to give a couple of shout outs early because this is all new to me. So I want to thank those who have helped me from behind the scenes, whether it was with wardrobe, technical things, lighting, the encouragement. I see my sister Jasmine here being able to push me. Keisha should be coming in soon because this is something that I just did not want to do. Oftentimes people would say to me, Yukia, you're so transparent, you're so honest, you should do blogs, you should do podcasting. I did not want to do either because again I felt like it take up so much of your time, and social media digs into your life. So I wanted to be one of the ones to come in and go out when I get ready. But here we are. So again, I just want to say thank you. You will hear me say thank you often on tonight because I am grateful. I also want to say thank you to those who have been with me, who've walked with me. You all know this has been a very peculiar season. I've suffered so many losses and so much grief, which is another reason why I did not want to take on another task, another job, another anything, because it was just too much. What I am doing right now is my grandmother's and my father's wildest dream. What they would give to see me on a big screen. If they could see me just on YouTube, they would think it was a cinema, right? Because they loved me just that much, just that much. And so I just want to make them proud. And so with this being my first podcast, I think I'm making them proud. I now have angels who sit over me day and night and who instruct me and who talk to God on my behalf and who wrestle with other angels who wrestle with God just so that God can bless me. I did take a couple of notes because I wanted to make sure I was able to flow the way I needed to flow. And so I gave you my intro. I told you who I am. Those of you who are here, you know me. I gave my thank yous, right? I want to say stay tuned for what's coming. I'm going to have some very special guests on the show very soon. I wanted to make my first one very personal. There are some things that I needed to speak about. There are some things I wanted to discuss. There are some things that have taken place in my life and in my work that I have not been able to discuss. And so, if you know anything about me, you know I always talk about being exactly who you are, and not changing that. Let people do them. but you do you. So with that being said, I want to start off with this. The topic for tonight is titled Introduction and Integrity. Integrity is a word that I use often. It's actually one of my favorite words. What does integrity mean to me? It may mean something different to you. To me, integrity is not what you do when people are watching. Integrity is what you do when nobody is watching and it's just you by yourself. Who are you? That's something to think about. That's something to take inventory about. Who are you? What do people say about you? We're not talking about enemies right now. We're not talking about haters right now. We're not talking about your naysayers right now. We will. We will. Because I got something to say. We will, but not right now. What do people who are operating out of a sound mind, what do they say about you? Who are you to people? If someone wanted to do business with you, what would they say? If someone wanted to invest money in you, what would they say? If someone or a group of people were at a table and they asked about you, what would they say? How proud have you made your family? How proud have you made yourself? How proud have you made your employers? All of these are real questions that you should be asking yourself, because from what I can see, I pretty much know everybody who's watching. We're all adults. And at some point we have to grow up. And in growing up, self-inventory have to take place. Who am I? Who do I want to be? And you have to do the work in between. And what gets scary for people is that they don't want to do the work, right? Because doing the work means I got to see myself. Doing the work means I don't like what I see in me. But there's also beauty in that. Do you want to continue walking around like a shipwreck? Do you want to continue walking around a damsel in distress, a dude in distress? You really have to get to the place where you want to get your life together. You really got to get to the place where you want to be the one that your children can brag about. Let's pause right there. Can your children brag about you? Don't put anything in the chat. You can take notes. Can your children brag about you? I can't wait to get my podcast mic, because I feel like you ain't really podcasting unless you got the mic clipped to you or you got the mic hanging from the ceiling. But we're going to work with this stuff. We're going to work with this, because as much as I wanted to push this back, I couldn't push it back another day. God said no today. So again, are your children proud of you? Are your parents proud of you? Brag moment. And all of you should have a brag moment. Brag moment. Before I got started, I was talking about my father and my grandmother who have transitioned. They were proud of me. They did not leave this earth worried about me. My grandmother passed January the 2nd of this year. My grandmother did not die saying my granddaughter is a failure. She didn't die saying my granddaughter is an embarrassment to this family. And that gives me the fortitude to keep going, because I was not an embarrassment to my grandmother. So everything that's in my heart to do, I plan on doing that, right? So I hope you've answered that question. I hope you've taken into consideration some of the things that I've said. Are your children proud of you? Is your family, because my family bragging on me. My family thinks that I am the one and I am that girl, because guess what? I am. I am the product. You want me to tell you why I can say I am the product? You know why I can sit here and I can talk to you with such confidence and such fervor? Because when I was born, and I don't know if I ever shared this, but it won't hurt to share it again, because one thing you all know about me is that I am a testimony girl. And we're going to hear a lot of testimonies on tonight, because this sets the tone of Speak Well podcast. You're not going to come on this show. You're not going to hear anybody on this show. And I am not going to come on this show and be anybody else. I am exactly who I say I am all the time. This voice, this is my voice. This personality, this is my personality. Wherever I go, it does not change. I'm not code switching. I'm not voice changing. I'm not doing any of that. I am exactly who I say I am on social media, at work, in school, in universities, at dinner, at the club. I am always that person all the time. So I asked you something and I actually forgot what I asked you, but if you remember, put it in the chat because it was going to mean something, but I'll come back to it if I think about it. This podcast tonight is going to set the tone for the podcast to come. I have to clean up some stuff, right? And it wasn't even I have to clean up a mess that I didn't even make. But I got to clean it up. Why do I have to clean it up? Because your name, my name, your name is worth more than money. And if somebody can mess up your name, that's a hard thing to get back. Because your name travels. You're not just who you are in your community. Your name travels. And so with that being said, I have to clean up and clear up a lot of stuff. So if you're here and you don't know me and you were just invited by somebody, just come in, just sit down. It's gonna all make sense. But I have to do some housekeeping, right? I have to do some cleaning up. And I contemplated if I was going to have the conversation. Should I have the conversation? Should I leave it alone? Should I not say nothing? What do I do? How do I deal? Because for 45 years of my life, for the most part, I've been told you shouldn't talk, or you talk too much, or whatever and whatever. I know what I was getting ready to say before. When I was born, when I was fresh out of my mother's womb, not to mention I was conceived in Lorton. So we're going to start there. I'm not going to get all into the dynamics about that and how that dealt with my mother insecurities. I'm not even going to get into that. But when I was born, the very first words that were spoke over me, and my mother can attest to this. This is a testimony for her because you're looking at me, right? You're looking at me, and I wish I could see all of your faces, but you're looking at me. You see me. Y'all see me, right? You see me. You see me on StreamYard, on YouTube. You see me. You see me in person. This is exactly who I am. I got a little lipstick, little mascara, little bronzer, but you see me, right? Right? Pretty bad looking girl to be 45. Right? We gonna give her propers. We gonna give the creator of Speak Well her propers. The very first words that were spoke over me when I was born. Hear me, because I want to redeem some of you. I want to pour back into some of you, right? I want to encourage some of you. I want to sprinkle some girl power over some of you, right? When I was born, the very first words that were spoken over me was, "Whose baby is this? This is an ugly baby." I'm going somewhere with the story. Who is this child's father? This baby looks like she came from an alcoholic. Priscilla, whose baby is this? This is an ugly baby. This baby looks like a bird. That is what they said to me. So with me not being able to comprehend, speak back, understand, even hear as a newborn, that was a seed that was planted. That was a seed that was planted. Many of you have seeds that have been planted. See, I plucked up my seed because I've never thought I was ugly, and I'm not. You all have to go back and pluck up the seed that was sown into you that does not align with what God said and who God said you are. Pause. This is not a Christian-based podcast. So if you came here thinking we're having Bible study, a Sunday morning service, this is not the podcast for you. I am no longer in a box. I am saved. I'm saved really good. I have fruit. You all have seen it. I have relationship. You all have seen it. I have a prophetic gift that God is still cultivating. You all have seen it. So I don't have to give you my resume, although I can slide it across the table and we'll be clear, but I'm not going to do that. This is not a Christian-based podcast. In the name of God, this is not a Christian-based podcast. I will have some co-hosts and some guests on here that may be Muslim, that may be atheist. I don't know, but this is not that. So we're going to move on. You have to pluck up the seed that someone sown into your life. Many of you are walking around, I use the word damsel in distress, dude in distress. You're a shipwreck. You don't like people. You don't like other people. Some of us was raised on survival and not love, so you hate everybody. That is because it was a seed that was planted that you did not pluck up. You have a responsibility you are an adult now. You have a responsibility to pluck those seeds of doubt, those seeds of lies. Some of us, if not all of us, were raised in a household where we learned the bad parts of us in a household from a mother or a father or a sister or aunt. Nobody was encouraging us in the household. Nobody was telling us you could be this, that, or the other in the household because they didn't care. Because if you're my age or around about, you come from a generation of mothers and fathers that were selfish. What I mean by that, I'm about my man, I'm about my woman, and I'm not dealing with you right now. So with that being said, let's go into it. And I know I said with that being said a couple of times, I'm going to get it together so I don't have to keep on saying that. So real quick, I want to dive into something because this might take up a little bit of time, but I have to get it out. I did an Instagram live one day in the summer where I was talking about a few things. And some of you were kind of confused because one, you may not be from here. You may not have heard about it, or you might have been out the loop. So you were kind of like, oh my God, what's going on? Blah, 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 and blah. So I'm going to explain it to you the best way I can, because guess what? I said redeem. I am responsible for redeeming myself and my family. And so that's what I'm going to do, because I laughed and I joked, but I've never been a liar. I've been a lot of things, but I've never been a liar. And if I lied, it was because I needed to lie. They might have been trying to take me to jail. I don't know. But I never needed to lie to any of my peers. They've never been that important to me. So you all know I have a husband. I got a handsome husband. I have an amazing husband. You all know my husband had a life sentence. I'm going to tell the story every chance I get, because here's the thing. God always gives me a fresh testimony, but ain't nothing wrong with talking about the old ones, because the old ones gonna always bless somebody. So I have a husband. I have an amazing husband, a handsome husband. He's the Billy D to my mahogany. My husband had a life sentence. My husband comes home. When my husband came home, before my husband was released, I knew that there were some things that I just did not want my husband to be involved in, certain jobs. I didn't want, and this is no shade to anybody who has done it or have to do it. This is when I'm speaking right now, I'm speaking about my life and my story. Whatever you have to do for your life and your household, that's what you have to do for your life and your household. I am not judging anybody here. I knew that I wanted my husband to have a smooth transition, right? And I was responsible to make sure he had a smooth transition. How was I able to do that? Not burning bridges, being connected to the right people, being in the right rooms, being prayerful to God, staying on my knees, making sure I understood what the assignment was, making sure and understanding that this was also going to be a process for him as well. So the blessing for me was when, upon my husband's release, I had people who sat in spaces that were able to help and or assist, not because they was a friend of mine, but because they knew his influence and his potential. It had nothing to do with me. Because here's the thing, I didn't give my husband influence and I did not give him potential. He had it before he left. Let me say that again. He had it before he left, right? And so he will tell you himself, he was once a cancer, now he wants to be the cure. He was responsible for plucking his community apart. He wanted to be responsible for building his community, right? So not me. A couple of elected officials felt like, hey, let's try to get him a meeting. It had nothing to do with me. I did not organize it. I did not orchestrate it. I did not stroke it. I did not massage it. I wasn't even there. I wasn't even in the room. I knew about it because my husband told me. My husband had one meeting with the organization, him and two other of his peers. In that meeting, my husband asked, is there anything I can do to support my community and to help the young men and women in my community, specifically the men, right? He was told at this time, we don't have any resources. We don't have any money. We don't even have the fortitude and or the strength to take on such a community. And I don't need to name the community because ain't none of y'all born in Arkansas. You ain't even from Arkansas, so you know the community. My husband at that time, like I got another husband. At that time, when my husband got that report, he was saddened by it because he came home to find a community in the same way he left it 17 years ago. That's insane, right? When we know that our government has billions and billions and billions of dollars. I knew I didn't want my husband to be a VI, a violence interrupter. I just didn't want that. No shade to those who do it. It's a dangerous job. Standing outside, it's almost like they want you to I don't know what they want you to do because I ain't never read the job description. I knew I didn't want him to do that. But I also knew I married a man. I also knew that I married a man that was going to take care of his family by any means necessary. So that meeting happens. There's no money. Walk away. Just a little depressed that, okay, I don't know what else I'm going to do. But I tell you what I can do. I can just use my money. I can just use the resources that I already have. I can start from here. And about, I had a timeline, and I'm going to tell you why the timeline is helpful, because the timeline provides receipts. So from the timeline that I had, that happened maybe early part of 21, right? In August of 21, I got a message. Now, if you read the topic for today, it's episode 1, introduction and integrity. It should have said introduction, integrity, and influence, because influence is a word that I'm going to use a lot tonight as well, because I have that. I have influence and I have integrity. So I get a phone call, text. It was a text message because I have the text message here to prove how I responded. I get a text message August 2022 that says, hey, after already being told we don't have no money from said organization, I get a text message in 2021 of August that says, hey, can you send me a list of credible individuals in the community, in this specific community, that can do some work? We will pay them. I didn't ask no questions about, because I could have went into the whole, oh, I thought y'all didn't have no money. When y'all met with my husband, y'all didn't have no money. But sometimes you got to wait your turn. Sometimes the blessing isn't going to come from the hands you think it's going to come from. It comes from the back door. It comes from a person or place or thing that don't even look like it's going to be the blessing. So August 2022, again, I have receipts. I don't ask no questions. I am just obedient. So because I'm obedient, I send a list of about 20 credible individuals, in my opinion, because guess what? I'm a product of integrity. Yes, made mistakes, made a whole lot of them. I'm a product of integrity and influence, right? So I'm going to use that to help somebody. I'm going to use that to pull somebody up. And here we go. Let me be cocky for a minute. I'm going to use that to help somebody eat. I'm going to use that to help somebody feed their family. So stay with me. I'm going somewhere because this sets the tone for the Speak Well podcast, because I want you to know who you dealing with, who you sitting with, and who I've always been, and I'm going higher. I sent a list of about 20 individuals that I felt like was credible. I sent over the list. I don't get no feedback that says, no, we don't want this one. No, we don't want that one. They trusted my judgment. And all of them individuals was invited to attend a meeting. They all got an email, a text message, or a phone call. They came to the meeting. A long story short, but it's still going to be long. A long story short, all of them individuals were brought to a table. All of them individuals got a job to do what they do well in their field, right? I even helped some of them decide what they could do, because some of them, the mind was so small, they wasn't even in touch with their identity. They didn't even know what they could do. Yes, this is that kind of podcast, because again, I'm talking about influence. We're talking about power. We're talking about how you take a person like me, who they said I wasn't going to be nothing, couldn't be nothing, wasn't going to have it, and now I got it, right? But I'm still trying to help somebody else. That ain't even no word. Multiple individuals. So we go to the table. We're meeting, we're having multiple meetings. And finally, one day, we get a green light. Finally, one day, we get a yes. Finally, the check is cut. And everybody gets to do what they can do within their field, whether they are baking, cooking, mentoring, singing, cutting hair, taking kids, going on field trips, making t-shirts, whatever, yoga, hit, whatever, doing hair, makeup, whatever they thought that they could do. We're not going to leave out the fact that it was me that made sure those said individuals got some money to do it, versus going to them saying, oh, this your community, do it for free. No, Ukiah was the reason you were able to do what you do, but not for free, to make a coin off of it. Because if you're going to tell a story, you got to tell the story correctly. Because here's what I'm doing. I'm cleaning it up. The story was told wrong. And I told you what the dates was. I sat, I didn't say nothing, and I watched how things started to change. I watched how faces started to change. See, here's what I didn't understand. I wanted something for people that they did not want for themselves. I wanted better for people that they did not want for themselves. And I had to understand what that taught me was to leave people right where I found them. Stop trying to save people. These people were not raised on love, beloved. They were raised on survival. So they don't know the meaning of friend. They don't know the meaning of friendship. They don't know the meaning of compassion. They don't know the meaning of that. So anytime you put somebody in a position to get some money, to make some money, or to do something, and they turn their back on you, no, it's a conversation that got to be had. So because many of them should not have been allowed to sit at a table that I was sitting at, I didn't want to carry it that way. Because if you notice me, I'm very humble. I ain't going to brag about it. I ain't going to brag on it. I'm going to let you do your thing. I'm going to let you shout. I'm going to do all that. But sometimes you have got to speak your truth, because this is my name. Think of me what you want, think of me. But we gonna speak the truth and we gonna tell the truth. I don't have nothing else. Many of you have watched the Cat Williams and Shannon Sharpe interview. There were so many nuggets that Cat Williams dropped. I was floored. It was a 3-hour interview and I watched it probably 10 times already. Cat Williams said, winners are not allowed to let losers rewrite history. That hit me so deep because I was vouching for losers. I was vouching for losers. I was supporting losers. And I didn't even know it. How do someone make sure you eat, but you turn your back on them for no reason at all? Well, here we go. You're not used to having nothing. The reason why I was asked for the names, because I had integrity and I was emotionally stable. I wasn't going to say, oh, just take the list of people I like a lot. No, you asked for credible individuals in a community. So I gave you the credible individuals in a community. Let them do it. You didn't need to do nothing for me. Let them do it. Right? So we talked about the 2021. Yeah, I'm chewing gum. We talked about the 21 where we were asked to bring them to the table. So everybody came to the table and they started to work. And the pay was pretty good, whether they had a partner or not. So things started to get kind of, while the work was picking up, people were pulling away. Now that's how you get the mentality of crabs in a barrel. We were giving people money that never had that kind of money. We were giving people positions that had never had those kind of positions. We were making people their very own program managers and program directors who had never even had a high school diploma or never finished. No shade to the people who didn't, but this is shade to those whose names was on the paper, and you know your name was on the paper because you was getting money. And guess what, love? You're still getting money. You're still eating off of my recommendation. So let's be clear. Again, there are receipts. So some of the stuff I may have left out, some of the stuff I may forget, but so that you have a snapshot of who you dealing with. I'm not a small fry. I'm not a small person. I'm not a small individual. I don't think small. It's none of that with me. If I am asked, can you do something? I don't do it no more. I may not even like the sound of your name because of what you did to me. But if you can do it, I'm going to recommend you, because guess what? I can't do it. And I don't know nobody else who can do it. But obviously the person who's asking me, do I have a recommendation, is somebody who I want to make sure they get their needs taken care of. So I'm going to refer you. That's just what I do. But again, like I said a couple of paragraphs ago, what did this teach me? Leave people right where you found them. Leave gutter snipes in the gutter. Stop trying to save people. Leave them where you found them. So, the Farewell Agency. The Farewell Agency is my funeral concierge business. You all know about it. It's one of its kind. It's one of a kind. God gave it to me years ago after burying my cousin. Not something I wanted, not something I wanted to do. Same as Speak Well podcast. Did not want it, did not want to do it. God said, well, here you go. This is what you're going to do. You're not afraid to speak up. That's another thing. See, a lot of y'all are afraid to speak up. You're so timid. Stop being afraid of confrontation. Stop being afraid to confront people. What are you scared for? If someone's going to think less of you, they're going to think less of you. If someone's going to think more of you, they're going to think more of you. Stop being afraid to confront people. Y'all just sit in rooms and just let people do. Let me get my phone. Y'all sit in rooms and let people do whatever they want to do and say whatever they want to say, and y'all be scared. Oh no, I'm gonna just let them go. Oh, I'm not gonna say nothing. No, that season is gone. And then you'll be walking around holding on to stuff and be mad and stressed out, and your blood pressure is sky high because you want to say something to somebody, but you scared. No, stop being scared. So, Fairway Agency. The Fairway Agency is an amazing business. I am expecting to take the Fairway Agency worldwide. Those are my expectations. God can do something bigger, right? God can do something global. I said worldwide. Are the two the same? I don't know. And yeah, I have a master's degree. The Fairway Agency has supported, planned, executed so many funerals in the city and beyond. Whether their financial means were life insurance, crime victims, out of pocket, GoFundMe, DHS, it did not matter. If I felt like I wanted to take the case, I took the case. But here's the thing about in the community. There have not been many families that I have supported in our community that I've taken money from, because I want to clear that up also. Although the Fairway Agency is not a nonprofit, the Fairway Agency is a for-profit corporation. It is not a nonprofit organization. It is not a charity organization. It is not an in-kind organization. Everything that I did was from the bottom of my heart. I never had to do it. Before the Fairway Agency was known, I was burying families for free. Some individuals had lost almost half of a family, and I had did it for free. And it had got to the point where they were used to me doing it for free. Did I feel used? No, because pause, let me tell you something. I never feel that somebody used me. I never feel that I've been worked. I always feel like God put me in a position to help you. So if you ever think you work me, you did not work me. You worked yourself. You never worked me. Because there have been times I have said no. But guess what? The one who I did it for was your deceased loved one. It wasn't even for you. Which is why I am blessed right now, because I've done things out of the kindness of my heart. Nobody never came back. When the check cleared, they never came back and said, here's a few dollars. Here's a couple of dollars. The people that they would pay first would be the funeral home, the people who make them funny looking t-shirts, the people who do the programs. They would pay everybody up. They would buy Balenciagas, they would buy Giuseppe's, they would buy Gucci, they would buy every single thing for the loved one. And guess what? I ain't shading that, because I'm with all that. I think your loved one should die in style. But you would not have been able to do any of these things had I not stepped in, because again, no shade. Some people couldn't understand their paperwork. Some people was too distraught to understand it. Some people was grieving too much to even understand what was going on. That's why the Fairway Agency does what it does, because we want you to grieve in peace. Give it to us. We'll take it. We'll talk to all of the vendors. We'll make all of the arrangements. And in the midst of doing that, we save you money. We save you money. We save the government money. These are known facts statistically. Do your homework. I ain't never me, because it's a one-woman business, a minority-owned business. I ain't never stole no money from no family. Y'all ain't had no money. Y'all didn't pay me no money. I never stole no money. So before you say I stole something, first you got to ask yourself if you even gave me money to steal. I just needed to clear that up. I ain't done clean the house, right? Okay. So in the month of August 2022, right? Pay attention to what I'm saying, because it's gonna make sense. August 2022, I was funded. If anybody know government fiscal years and all of those things, A fiscal year ends when? Drop it in the chat. I was funded for August for 40 days. 40 days. I was funded to provide funeral support to families, which came by referral. If I did not get a referral, I could not help the family. Let me tell you how honest I am. I didn't use any of the money to bury individuals that I knew. I used the money to bury the loved ones who the referrals came for, because everything had to be done right. If I'm a new business owner, why in the world, in the name of God, do somebody think, or would somebody think, that I would jeopardize my business? I ain't never been that stupid. Y'all have never known me to scam, steal, lie. You don't even, I ain't never stole nothing. Because I've had it. I've worked for everything I wanted. So here we are. In August, I'm funded for 40 days. I planned over 15 to 20 plus funerals. When the fiscal year was over, August, September, maybe in the end of September. At the end of September, it was time to reconcile all receipts. Guess how much money I did not spend, and guess how much money I gave back? $12,000. I don't steal, love. You do. Y'all do. I don't steal. Not y'all, but those who will come back and listen. I don't steal. So I gave back the money because I did not spend it. I did not have any more referrals. The fiscal year is coming to an end. Why do I need to keep the money? I did not use it all. Then that's it. People who are business-minded people, they would always say, oh, no, you don't give the government no money back. You find out what you can use it for. No, I am a new business. I don't know. I can't find nothing. If nobody died, then I can't use it. If the fiscal year is coming to an end, then they get their money back. So if I was broke, I chose to be broke, right? So here we go. So that was in August of 2027. Young lady is awarded a contract to do violence interrupter work. I'm not shading her. I think she's an amazing woman. I gave her kudos for being the first woman to get a government contract to do VI work. Young lady tells everybody, hey, I got awarded the contract for Congress Heights. What should I do? They advised the young lady, talk to Wap and his wife. She talks to my husband. Before she talked to me, him and her spoke. He came home. He said, hey, you got to talk to so-and-so. She wants to do X, Y, and Z and needs our help. I give her a call. I talked to her for maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours. At this point, she's a business, I'm a business. That's a consultation. I never sent the invoice. I'm not mad that I didn't send the invoice. I feel like the blessing that'll come to me is because I helped her in the way that I could. But I just think some things just got to be discussed and talked about. I consulted with the young lady. I advised the young lady. Her question to me was, or us, who do you think would be a good fit for my program? Who do you all think would be a good fit that I can hire? Again, here we go. We're being asked by someone else, who should I feed? Don't miss it. Don't miss what I'm saying. We're being asked by someone who's in position, but we're in position too. Because we're not going to leave out the fact that influence goes a long way. Y'all have tried to play people small and don't even know that these people are behind the scene pulling strings. I have been behind the scenes pulling strings to make sure you and your family are able to eat. You and your family are able to enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas. I am not bragging. I am speaking facts and I am telling the truth. Trust me, after tonight, you may not hear this no more unless you do a replay, because all this is necessary. Because I sat and I watched people discuss, and I watched people pick me and my husband apart, and I watched people do all these things, and God said I could not say anything. I am no longer in a box. I don't have anybody that can say to me, you should not respond. You shouldn't say nothing. I am grown. My mother won't even get on here and say, you shouldn't say nothing. Anytime I'm supposed to defend me and my family and God says go, I am going to do just that. But see, what they were hoping was that I will never speak about it. I got a podcast now, love. I should have titled this the sequel to Cat Williams. That's what I should have did. So we give the young lady some names. I don't see y'all making no comments in the chat. This must have gotten good to y'all. We give her the names. Those said individuals are still working to this day, with the exception of my husband, because they thought that my husband was going to be some type of crash dummy. And I said, oh no, that's why I didn't want you doing this work. He did it for the extra money. He did it to make sure he was able to provide for his family. But I said, no. We resigning. And we resigned. There was nothing to talk about. We resigned. Okay? But the point I'm making is, said individuals are still working as violence interrupters and program managers and program directors. They're still working. Pause. Wait a minute. The said individuals that are working on the VI grant are some of the same said individuals that was at the table. So they got 2 checks. Two. Thank you for the balloon. 2 checks. 2 checks. So the same people that y'all, I'm talking about, I can say the neighborhood, but I'm gonna say Congress Heights. So y'all sit around and y'all follow people and y'all be liking people comments and y'all be in the DMs and egging people on and don't even have the story. These same people who y'all think are fly and they this and they the other and they whatever, all of them ain't nothing but a bunch of liars, scammers, schemers, informants. But these are the people that y'all sit and hype up. No, let me tell you something, love. You eating because of you, Kid and Wop. You're eating because we put your name on a piece of paper. I got the receipts. So what people should do is come back and say thank you. But let me tell you something. Some people, parents did a bad job at raising them. No shade to the parent. They didn't know. They didn't know. They did the best they could with you. But you didn't even come. Instead of coming back to say thank you, they went and created a whole thing. It went from I'm stealing money. I created a GoFundMe to steal money. I don't know if my baby girl is on here, but I don't think she would mind me telling the story because I stopped in August, right? Yep, I stopped in August. So in August, we make sure the people get a little bit more money because we going out of the summer and the holidays is coming. See, I don't even think that the person who got the grants even told y'all who made it possible for you to eat. They probably didn't. So that's why they spent so much time, up and round and behind them, because you thought that they were the ones. No, it was us. The people told the young lady, you got to talk to Wop and his wife. They can tell you about that community and who you should call and who you should hire. She did that. Kudos to her for doing that. But we did our part too. When she called, I didn't say you can hire me. It wasn't about me. I told the young lady who to hire, and said individuals are still working. They're no longer working under her contract because she's doing other things. But who they're working for, they're still employed to this day. We're in 2024. And they got it started. So why am I saying all this? Because my character was on the line. Character assassination is a real thing. All of this is going on. I'm trying to bury my Uncle Anthony. Y'all seen it all through my timeline. I'm dealing with my mother. I'm dealing with my father I'm dealing with all this stuff. I'm still burying people who had real money. I'm still burying people who had real policies. And I'm talking about they plucking me apart. They coming after me. They coming after my family. They put out petitions. They did all of this stuff to stop me. And here we are, I ain't gonna be long. I said that I'm gonna spend about 1 hour and 15 minutes on this podcast, because next week you're gonna see somebody else. But I needed to set the record straight and redeem my own name. That's what I needed to do. So we were in August. So now it's a bunch of tension. It's getting high. Wait, I don't got no money. Let's roll over into September. The money gone. Ain't no more money. I've given the $12,000 back. The money is gone. My husband resigns. That money is gone, right? That money is gone. But I was still paid. I'm still paid to this day. To this day, I'm still paid. And don't be small-minded. I'm not talking about paid in money. I'm still paid in faith, paid in patience. I'm still paid in peace. I'm still paid. And they're ripping and running around trying to figure out what's going on in their life. It might look like everything is going well, but I tell you what they want to do. They want to circle back. You can't circle back this way, love. Because if I was nothing else, I was a support. I was a friend. I was a confidant. I was a comrade. I had even became a third-party employer. How dare you? So now, we're in September. What happened in September? I don't know what happened in September. Let me see. So, okay. So October, my husband leaves. So here we go. In January, my baby boy got a little younger and we was mentoring. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to trigger anybody. Loved him. We were doing everything that we could to support him, to save him, to keep him from out of the streets. He's the first homicide of 2023. Breaks my heart. Breaks everybody's heart. Go do your homework. You go and look it up. First homicide of 2023. His name will come up. The crime scene might come up. The records might come up. There were some phone calls that I knew I had to make after getting permission from his mom to make the phone calls. So after getting a report and talking to this one and that one who were in positions to give me the information, I did not feel at the time that he would receive crime victim compensation because of how they painted the crime scene. I did not go. I wasn't there. So I don't know what it looked like. At the time, because I felt like he would not get any money from the government, I started to do two things. I started to pray and I started to check my bank account. I'm going to say it again because I don't want anybody to miss this. I started to pray and I started to check my bank account. I started to pray because I said, if they don't give him this money, how am I going to help his mother bury him? I don't want this burden to be on him. Her son died in these streets, and I want him to have a service that is fit for a young man that had ambition. That's what I said. That's what I wanted for him. I meet with his mom. I speak to her. I see where she is. I'm getting phone calls from people in the community saying, can you help? Can you help? Can you help? I was going to help anyway because he was one of mine. So many people got clout off of this one young man's death. I didn't need any clout. I don't need none now. I already have a name. I didn't need anything. Them people around there ain't big enough to give me a name. Those people wasn't big enough to put me on a platform or a pedestal. They just wasn't. They fight each other. They eat their own. They couldn't do nothing for me. I was already her. I've always been the product. I'm the one that made it out. That is a brag. That is shade. I did make it out. They didn't. I am not stuck. So moving on. I'm praying I get an email from the department that says, after thorough investigation, such and such and such and such, they will be receiving crime victims. That was a prayer answered. And I'm going to tell you what else that was. That's relationship and influence. Because I have already been having conversations. This baby needed this money. I didn't want, that's another thing that Fairway Agency does. I did not want the burden to be on his mom and on his family to have to bury him. He was a good kid. We have footage of him saying who he's going to be and what he's going to become. He gets that money. But while we're waiting on him to get the money, I am meeting with his mom and I'm saying, what is it that you need? I want to move. I got to move. So I say, well, let's do a GoFundMe so that you can move. She still hasn't moved. That's not on me. That's on the city. And let me tell you why. We didn't receive a whole lot of money to the GoFundMe. Anything that came in that GoFundMe was allotted to mom. It's up. You can still see it. I didn't steal a penny. I went into my bank account and didn't say nothing to his mother because I didn't need to. Neither did I make an announcement about it. It needed to be done. And anybody who's got crime victims money, it's not enough. It's $10,000. I didn't want him to have a $10,000 funeral. I wanted him to have more of like a $20,000 funeral. So this is where it got tricky. The GoFundMe is put up. And all hell broke loose when the GoFundMe gets put up. All hell broke loose from broke people who didn't have a quarter, a dollar, or a dime, and thought that it would be robbery if they put money in my hands as if I steal. Now, pause. Here we go. Teaching moment. Remind me where I stopped, because I'm going to go back. Young lady who I love, respect, and adore. Met her a couple of years ago. We talking about me being the product. We talking about who I am. You care. I love you. I love everything about you. You are so inspiring. God got so much for you. I need your help with something. Because I loved her, I was willing to take on that project. And I tell you, it was a project. She says, I want you to mentor my baby girl. I take on the project out of respect and love for the young lady, for the woman. I do that. Mentored her, loved on her, gave her some jewels, gave her some gems. She might even lie about it. Don't matter, because I'm going to speak the truth. Same young lady, because here's the thing. We got to be careful when we allow people into the glory of who we are. And I'm not talking about God's glory, the Shekinah glory. We got to be careful when we invite people into our circles and spaces and our spotlights. Not everybody wants to learn from you. Not everybody wants to be mentored from you. Not everybody wants to respect you. They get close enough to you to see what perfume you wear, what size you wear, who's calling you, how you maintain a household, how you care for your children, how you do what you do, who are you connected to, so they can slide in. I said twice before, what have this taught me? Leave people where you found them. It's going to all make sense. So I told y'all to remind me where I stopped, but I remembered. So my baby boy, I do the GoFundMe. So as I do the GoFundMe, it's a bunch of chatter, chitter chatter, this, that, and there ain't hardly no money in there. So I get a phone call from same said little mentee. Oh, you got a minute? This one, you know, there is getting ready to be some. You got a minute? I said, yeah, I got a minute. Well, I just wanted you to know that people are saying they're not giving to the GoFundMe. Before she could finish, I said, who is people? Because I'm thinking your loyalty to me and you, who is people? Let me pause. I'm telling my story and I'm telling my truth. So I don't want anybody to think that I used up my first podcast to speak on you or about you. I'm speaking the facts because this is my first time speaking about it. You're irrelevant. You're only being your name ain't even going. I ain't even gonna give you that much airplay. However, yeah, I had a minute, and so when she said people, I said, wait. Who is people? Because and that's me. Don't come to me and tell me somebody that who is people. No, ma'am. Let's back up. Who is the people? Didn't want to tell me, but let me tell you something. I thank God for the Hagios Pneumos, which is the Holy Ghost. Because while she was talking, God was showing me who she was talking about. Even after I got out of her one name in particular. The story gonna make sense. One name in particular is one of the names that was on the receipt and on the list that got the 2 checks. So I am confused, but I'm also not shocked. Because let me tell you why. People who love me, including my husband, have been warning me saying, okay, that's not your friend. Okay, you gonna figure it out. Okay, and guess what I'm saying? No, don't do that. You just gotta give people some time to grow. No, don't do that. I love her. That is my friend. Because that's the real me. That is the real me. That's who I am. I am exactly who I say I am. And so this is what I want to teach you all. Let people do what they're gonna do. Watch them do what they're gonna do. And then you move around accordingly. Because eventually they will show you who they are. They're going to reveal who they are. Oh, they tried to tell me. Listen, they was trying to warn me like I was walking into a house fire. And I kept saying, that's not right. No, she's all right. She's gonna be okay. That's my friend. So I know it sounds like to some of y'all that I'm just venting about something. I'm giving you nuggets. I'm telling you why this is all making sense. And it's all going to make sense. We see so much potential in people. Because you know what I believe? To the pure, all things is pure. When I first meet you, I'm going to think that you are good until you're not. So guess what I figured out? They not. I had to see it for myself. So when she tell me who it was, I get on the phone. Me and my good girlfriend, we get on a 3-way. Young lady don't know she on 3-way. And I say, so you're telling people not to give to a GoFundMe because I'm stealing? No, I didn't say that, this, that, and other. So we didn't even get into no back and forth. See, one thing about me, I have emotional intelligence. I was supposed to be a lawyer. So I always keep my cool. Until I don't. So I kept my cool. No, I didn't say that. I know you do really good work in the community. I said, no, not just in the community. I've helped you with your burials too. You too. So I knew that I was gonna have to fight through a whole lot of stuff, all while still trying to bury my young man. I get some money. I think it was $1,500. All of that money went toward my baby boy. Didn't need to tell his mother. That was from me and my husband to get whatever he needed, because I wanted him to be buried with dignity. I know how to redeem a person's name by the way that I bury them. Do you know how many men that have been in the street that have been plastered all over the news and all over social media that have lost their lives, and I had to redeem them so that their mothers wouldn't sit on the front row and think, what kind of monster did I give birth to? No, ma'am, I got it. Because that's who I am. How you treat the dead says a whole lot about you. That's me. So if I'm your friend, if I'm your sister, and now I use the word If you're here tonight, you are one of my collaborators. We are supporters. We in this together. So it's far past an associate. This is it's bigger than social media. We're collaborators now. Because I'm trying to teach you something. And God forbid, we ain't even gonna go through none of the stuff that I've gone through way before this in relationships with family and we're not even gonna do that. But I rise. Still I rise. Paid, still paid. Paid in faith. Paid in strength. Paid in comfort. Paid in grace. Have my beauty for ashes. Paid. So they were picking me apart. But that ain't it. That's not it. So I'm realizing these people think that I'm stealing. You know why they think I'm stealing? Because they are accustomed to being around a group or a community of people that steal for a they can't get their money no other way. I'm appalled, but I got to keep a poker face because I still have to proceed and get this baby in the ground. Shout out to Joanna of Guns Down Friday. She says, Miss Yukia, I'm going to come and I'm going to help you do X, Y, and Z. She did that. Shout out to all the people that came in and said, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you do X, Y, and Z. Did that. Even while all this was going on. Didn't have the money, but I'm going to give it. No, don't give the money to me. Don't give it to the GoFundMe. Pay the person that paid the vendor directly. Because if I have nothing else, it's a name, and I'm not gonna let no hood rats take my name. Because guess what? I sit in a seat of healing. Completely. I sit in a seat of being loved correctly. So here's the thing. You're not going to see me running around through this city trying to figure out who I can pick apart. You'll never get that out of me. You'll never see me running through this city trying to figure out who can I scam and scheme. You'll never get that out of me. You'll never see me sitting at a dinner table, a lunch table, or a breakfast table trashing somebody. You're not going to get that out of me, love. You're just not. Maybe in a past life, but not this one. So we get the young man in the ground, and this was already in my head. Shortly after I put that baby in the ground with the help of his mother, I wrote a memo. Receipts. Go on through Fairwell Agency social media and look, it hasn't been removed. In fact, I'm going to reshare it because it still applies. So January the 19th of 23. Is that right? That's right. I put up a memo that says, and I'm paraphrasing, effective immediately, I will no longer be providing funeral support to the Congress Heights community. People were in an uproar. One, they were in an uproar because they said I shouldn't have posted it, which is not none of your business. Two, they were in an uproar because I was not going to be a fool anymore. Three, they were in an uproar because I wasn't going to let them play with me no more. I'm a business owner. I don't have to help nobody. They had gotten enough help from me that I didn't have to help them figure it out. You couldn't read it, get somebody else to help you read it. You didn't have a contact down there, MPD, that's your business. Because what people were doing were using me for, thinking they were using me for my contacts. No, they was think they were using me for more than that. My mind, my connections, my resources, because I have a very robust black book. Everybody's in the uproar about the letter I posted. I will not be doing, because here we go, teachable moment. Stand for something. There is no way in the world you are who you are and you let people play with you time and time and time again, walk over you time and time again, and you say nothing. No, I said this was not a Christian podcast, but I will give you scripture. Ain't nobody in the world walking over me. Not a soul. I have fought many demons that many of you have forgotten about. Ain't nobody about to play with me or nobody that I love. Not a soul. I am the lioness waiting to happen. I am not that. So we put up the letter and we moving forward. Oh, I heard about it. I had to hear about it. People had everything to say, but I rested my case. So while I thought I was out the woods, a petition is posted. Some of y'all saw the petition. The petition was posted, and this is where I speak about your name is worth more than money. I couldn't address it the way I wanted to address it. I couldn't. Y'all know the work I do. Y'all know where I work. Some stuff I couldn't address at the moment. But I told God, release me from that being afraid to address it because of where I am employed. This is my name. And if my name is toe up, I can't even do this right. No. So a petition is posted. And it's, paraphrasing again. These individuals is getting money from so and so and so and so. These individuals are friends and they got this money. These individuals are stealing, and these individuals are getting the money because they know each other. And these individuals are siblings and cousins and friends and this, that, that. And let me tell you what was the lowest of the low. My girlfriend loses her mother. Let me see. Let me make sure I got my timeline together. She ain't send me that. My good girlfriend, I told y'all the money ran out. August. My girlfriend loses her mother months down the line. They put in a petition that I used the money that I was funded. Remember I told you I gave $12,000 back. They said I used the money that I was funded to bury my friend's mother. The money was gone. The money was gone. Do y'all know how much sleep I lost? Do y'all know how many times I wrote in a journal? Do y'all know how many times do y'all know how many times? I'm going to just say, do y'all know how many times? So let me tell you this. Get yourself together. Therapy is available to anybody who needs it or wants it. There are people who see what you do and absolutely cannot stand the sight of you. That speaks volumes about who you are. You haven't done nothing to them. All you did was showed up. All you did was walked into the room and all of your beauty and all of your glory, you just showed up. You showed up by invitation. You showed up by pop-up. You showed up just because you had a gut feeling to show up. Who you are has nothing compared to who you will become. And who you will become determines how you let people deal with you right now. You have to teach people how to deal with you. The best peace that I have had in my life is what I have right now by leaving people where I found them. If I know that somebody is raised off of survival and not love, I will run extremely fast. Forrest Gump wouldn't be able to chase me. I do not fool around with people because let me tell you something. People who are unhealed, you have to leave them alone. You're going to find yourself dealing and trying and plucking and prodding and pushing. It's too much. And in this season, we've lost too much. And when I say we've lost people, we've lost real people. At first, if we said it, it would be, oh, I lost too much time. No, we've lost too much to be dealing with people that don't even respect. They don't respect the love you give. They don't respect your heart. They don't respect your compassion. They don't even respect who you are and how big you walk in your religion. They don't care nothing about you having a relationship with God. They don't care nothing about you coming to tell them that they was about to die, or somebody they know is about to die, and you pray for them, and the person, they don't care nothing about seeing you all in your glory and your, they don't care nothing about that. People are really raised and really have been raised on struggle and not love. They have been raised on survival and not love. We got to stop thinking we got to be everybody's friend, because we can't. We can't. So exactly what are you saying, you kid? I said in the beginning, I'm the product, and so are you. So all of that I just said was kind of summing up in the words of Reverend Cat Williams. Winners are not allowed to winners can't allow losers to rewrite history. I've always been a winner, and I had a bunch of losers speaking for me, talking about me, writing about me, trying to destroy my character. Don't let nobody, the moment you get wind of it, the season is gone of don't say nothing. No. The season is over of let people say whatever they want to say. Not with me. Not with me. You might say it, and I may not address it immediately, but I'm going to address it. And you have to stop being afraid to address stuff. Oh, I'm gonna just leave it alone. Okay. Leave it alone. I'm not. But look how long I gave you this. Look how long it took me to speak about this, because I had to go through all of that to get to this moment. I've always been somebody. I'm not the Bible says, woe unto you if all men speak well of you. I'm not expecting everybody to speak well of me, but I'm going to speak well of you, even if I have to tell the truth. Because here's the thing, the only people that don't like the truth is a liar. Give me the truth, because I'm going to give it right back to you. We have so many adults who get so offended when somebody put them in their place, check them, tell them they wrong, tell them no, tell them you. How in the world are you stomping around like somebody stole your bike because somebody corrected you? A person who corrects you is a person that loves you. So I pretty much just wanted to use today again to set the tone of who I am, redeem my character if in fact it had been damaged. And from the looks of it and from the views, I don't think it was damaged that much, but still, those who will listen will know, no, this is what happened. This is how it happened. And I am responsible for telling you how it happened. There is no way in the world. And let me tell you something. And again, this is no shade. You should go to therapy if this is you. When I find out that I'm sitting with women who don't like their mothers or their daughters, I know I have a problem. And I'm not talking about we just going through something right now, Ma. We just going through something right now, daughter. I'm talking about they have a disdain for their mothers and their daughters. I don't stand a chance with you, because I have an old soul. I'm a nurturer. I'm that girl. I love on women. I love on girls. I love to tell women they bad. Whether it's your body, your hair, your face, your occupation, that's me. So I run very fast when I sit with women and they start talking about they hate their daughters and the daughter's a bitch and they don't like their mother. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We will not have a friendship. And it's proven. It's proven. In my life and in my track record, it's proven. No, ma'am. This is where I'm packing all of my bags. I will not be on vacation with you and don't come back to my because you done killed me. No, ma'am. That's when you got to pack your bag. So that's my red flag. What's yours? Tell me what your red flag is in the chat. In one, because we get ready to close out. Tell me what your red flag is in relationships. And you should have one. Because if you pay attention to your red flag, Y'all will stop spending 10 and 15 years with people, spending 10 and 15 years in places that never wanted you there in the first place. What is your red flag? It's 30. I should see 32 responses. And I know it's people in here that's just watching and ain't said nothing. What's your red flag? We can do that in a minute because I'm gonna hold you to that. What's your red flag? I'm gonna get a guest to come on. Listen. Let me tell you what the Speak Well podcast has done for me. It has inspired me so much. I've gotten requests from therapists, rappers, content creators, stylists, regular people, chefs, daughters, sons. Listen, I'm set. I'm going to have a schedule in a minute. Girl, that's my niece. All she got to do is call me. You don't need to advocate for her because she grown and she got a baby. So she don't need you to talk for her, girl. That's my sister, y'all, so I can talk to her like that. So again, when people hate on other people, oh yeah, that's a big red flag. You sit. Listen, DC famous for it, but that's why I don't blame the people that pack up and leave. I don't blame the people that pack up and leave. Because you know what? We have to change the narrative of, let me tell you something. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you goes a long way. Thank you makes room for more. The way that y'all shared this flyer today, the way that y'all have, baby, let me tell you something. I got y'all the best. Because it was supposed to start last week. I backed out, found a way to get out of it. Was trying to do the same thing today. You all have supported me so much through so many things, and I appreciate it. I have a desire to be a star. I have a desire to be big. I have a desire to be seen all over the world. I got a face for it. I got a personality for it. And if all of you support me like you have been supporting me, don't let me get big and you stop supporting me. Don't get jealous because I got 1,000 views, because that ain't nothing. Push me and I'll push you, because I want Speak Well to be a space. I want to create space for people to come and to share. We in one studio. I'm a build from today. I got mics coming. I got guests coming. I got more pictures coming. I got all kind of stuff. Shout out to the women with studios that said, come on over here. And I'm going, because if you got a studio and I can support you, I'm going to support you, because I want you to make some money. That's what I'm about. It's enough money for everybody. If you know people who are in other states, share my flyers with them. Everybody should hear me. Everybody should see me. Why? Because I'm the product. They said nothing good come out of Southeast. I know you lying. I know you lying. I came out of Southeast. I'm in a doctoral program, girl. Yeah. So guess what? You can do it too. And I'm challenging every last one of you to go big or go home. I'm challenging every one of you to apply pressure. I've been saying apply pressure. I want y'all to apply pressure. After tonight, you should be doing something. Here's the thing. Give yourself every single day. Give yourself 30 minutes every single day. I'm not talking about just when you're in the shower. Sit down for 30 minutes and give yourself some time to do nothing. We wake up, it's hustle and bustle. We wake up, it's work. We wake up, it's kids. We wake up, we don't even spend time with ourselves. And let me say this, because this is a good one. All of you that have spouses and wives and husbands, the same way you jump up out of your bed for your employer because you got to go to work, that's how fast you should run to your spouse to spend time with them. That's how fast you should have a conversation with them to say, let's do something. You should never run to your employer faster than you run to and for your spouse. That's a tip. I'm going to always give you something. This ain't marriage counseling. This ain't none of that. Because I just feel like we are just ripping and running. Those are we're just ripping and running through life. Oh, I got. No, you got, no. You got to spend time with your family. And you got to be present when you're spending time with them. That is big. Nothing else matters. Life is so short. Let me tell you something. Y'all don't know, and I ain't going to stay here long because I'll get emotional. Y'all don't know what I would give to be able to have sent this link to Big Mama and say, Grandma, look. Y'all don't know what I would give to have sent this link to Seymour and say, no, for me to have told Seymour I'm going live, and he would have called me saying, daughter, you get ready to go live. I'm on that jump right now. Y'all don't know what that would give, but that's my drive. That's my drive. Y'all don't know what it would give to see my Aunt Besame say, oh, there go Hollywood. Because she saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself because I was too young. I got 2 great aunts, my grandfather's sisters. Y'all seen, we just buried her a year ago. Y'all seen the funeral because I posted. Because I love on my people. She never called me Kia. My name, when she saw me, it was Hollywood. She wasn't lying. She wasn't lying. And we got to stand up in who we are. Stop letting people make you feel small. Stop playing yourself small. You are that. You're that girl. You're him. You're everything. You came out of everything you came out of because you are him and because you are her. Y'all got to stop, make people give you your propers. And if you're not around people that are giving you your propers, you're in the wrong room. Because people who love you will give you your propers. People who love you will see you and say, oh, you doing that? Let me tell you something. Every day of the week, Jasmine is in my inbox and in my messages saying something. Oh, you ate that? Oh, get them, friend. Yeah, big fish. I ain't never been the small one. I've always been exactly who I told you I was. Nobody different. If me and you ever had a fallout, it could have just been I was having a bad day or you was not supposed to be my friend. That's just the bottom line. If we had a falling out or you had a falling out with somebody and the business deal didn't go through, it was not supposed to happen. And it's okay. Let's move forward. But in a nutshell, that's what I wanted to share with you all. I ain't never been small. I am qualified to speak about the things I'm speaking about tonight. I am qualified. I ain't talking about changing no tire. I'm not talking about shooting the free throw, whatever you call, because I don't know that. Everything I speak about is because I'm qualified. It makes me an expert. I'm in school. I'm a student. PhD students, they are researchers on some topic or another. I am that girl. I'm her. So I appreciate you for tuning in tonight. I hope it made sense. Although I told my testimony and I told my story, I hope I was still able to inspire all of you. We will be back. Now, I do not know if I'm going to go live every week. I don't know if I'm going to pre-record, but what I'm feeling now is I'm comfortable. And what I want to do is make this my hobby so that it is something that I love. There's a few things I know I want to work on. I want more lighting. There's so many things I want, and it's coming. I've either ordered it or just trying to figure out what's the best product. I have some of the best people on my team who are helping me pull this off. Some was saying you don't need all that because you are that girl. You could have had a white wall behind you. You could have had on a white t-shirt, and they would have came to see what you had to say, because you are that girl, and so are you. So after today, we're not playing with people. After today, we're going after everything we said we was going to go after. Don't sleep tonight until you write out a goal. I'm expecting to see all of you back. I said I wanted to do every week. I think that right now, because I'm still going through a process of grief, I am acknowledging that it is a process. So I am taking my time with everything versus just kind of jumping out there and putting too much on my plate, because I'm still a wife. I'm still a mom. So I may come back Thursday, but if I come back Thursday, I may do something over the weekend that is pre-recorded. If and when I come back, I'm going to have a guest. I want you to hear from friends, community. Shout out to my husband for allowing me the time, the freedom, the soft space to be able to do this. Shout out to my son, my daughter. Shout out to my council member for saying, if you start it, I'll help you push it. That is what teamwork looks like. That is what this is about. Shout out to the people who say, I see you in a council seat. I see you as the mayor. I don't know. I don't even want to be here in DC. So wherever I go, it must going to be somewhere else. But again, people will see your potential. People will see your potential. People will tell you who they think you should be, respectfully. Not the people that just walk up to you saying stupid stuff. But people will tell you, I saw you as such and such. I saw you doing such and such. You ever thought about doing this? I think you should do this. We need your voice. And that's why, no, I'm not Lil Durk, but I am the voice around here. Because I can do it. I've advocated for people. I've gotten people money. I've gotten people moved because of my influence. I've gotten people to move into apartments. I've gotten people jobs. I've vouched for people. That's who I am, and that's who I will always be. But I will pick and choose who I will do that for from this day forward. I have enjoyed my time with you all. It is 8:31. I did not expect to stay this long, but I knew I had to speak. I knew I had to speak. I knew I needed to talk to you. I knew I needed to clear up some things, because the Speak Well podcast will take off. And if you ever want to come back and say, but oh, didn't this happen? But didn't she do this? Oh, she can't be in no seat. She still what? I have receipts. Didn't I do that photo shoot, y'all? Oh, baby, I ate that photo shoot. Didn't I eat that photo shoot? Somebody was mad about that. People don't like when you are authentically who God created you to be, because we have so many imposters. We have so many people walking around in feet that ain't even theirs. We have so many people who are speaking in a language and in a tongue that ain't theirs to fit in. Now, baby, I'm going to fit in this way. I'm going to fit right on in this way. This way. This way. I'm going through the front door every time, never the back door. I'm going to advocate for people every single time, because that's me. I'm her. I am her. I'm going to always be her, because I know that what God gave to me is much more bigger than what I can ever see. Ever. So, yeah. So, again, thank you. I appreciate you. Y'all know Quentin Dion Hugie is my biggest hater. Just let him speak. Please, just don't even worry about it. Don't even worry. Y'all know I gave birth to him. He's my firstborn. He's my biggest hater. Y'all need to know that. I love y'all. Peace. Good night.